I just remember too, with Pig Destroyer, this time I like insulted Blake. Did I talk about this before?
I don't know.
Oh
I'll edit it out if you have.
Oh my god, this story is priceless. So, remember Scion?
Yes.
A little car company called Scion.
R.I.P.
Yeah, like Vans, right? Shoe company.
Mm-hmm.
Very common with punks, skaters, alternative crowds.
The Vans Warped Tour.
Right. They got a big tour. They funneled a bunch of money and marketing into that, millions of dollars. Who fucking knows? They've put millions of dollars into the House of Vans in Brooklyn, for instance, where they have free shows with like Gorilla Biscuits, Quicksand, Descendants, like you name it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's great. In the summers, there's free shows. It's great. I've seen some of like my favorite bands. Yeah. It's great to see Gorilla Biscuits for free.
I haven't seen them.
Drink some, free juices or whatever's being sponsored. Yeah. There's like skate ramps. It's great. It makes sense. The marketing money makes sense. I'm wearing Vans right now.
Yeah.
It worked. Well, Scion's was this car company, I guess?
Yeah, they're done.
They're done. Yeah, apparently. Yeah. Makes sense.
They backed the wrong horse marketing-wise, but I could tell that's where you're going with this, so go on.
Yeah, you don't just Vans doesn't just wake up tomorrow and you know what, we should put $10 million into the business type, the middle market managers in New York. I think let's put Vans stores next to suit shops.
Yeah.
Let's do it. They don't do that. I mean, they know better. They know what their niche is, right, or their market. So this car company was like, let's invest millions of dollars in death metal and grindcore and black metal.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And I reaped the benefits of this even in my own personal life because I dated Colin Marston, who Krallis was one of the bands that had, some of this money thrown at them from Scion to put out a couple hats, a couple shirts at their shows. They were offered money for their tours where they could feasibly rent a van for the entire tour, 4 to 6 week tours.
I have a band that's going to be very shocking that I think, and I cannot confirm, I think received some of this Scion cash. Go on.
This doesn't make any sense. You're going to say a band that maybe received money.
We played with them, and I do believe they had some free Scion shirts that they were...
If they had free Scion shirts, then they got the money.
Yeah.
Because that's all you had to do at this time. It was
Crom.
No.
Yeah. I'm 99% sure when we played with Crom.
All right.
They were just like, yeah, whatever. They gave us a bunch of money, and all we have to do is put these shirts out. I get it. My bands don't sell stuff. Take the fucking money where you can get it.
Bastard Noise played one of the fests. Wouldn't even remember that. That was insane. I mean, I remember it now because I was looking this up one day.
Yeah.
But holy shit, Eric Wood is one of my favorite people on earth. No offense, Eric, didn't realize. I mean, I remember with Krallis because I was in it. I was, dating someone in the band. It was a huge deal. They had hours and hours of discussion over whether this was ethical for them. They're not even punks.
Yeah.
But they all live a punk lifestyle. They all are very DIY, have really good values, moral compass, straight moral compass, so forth. Great dudes. And hours and hours of discussions of is this okay? Do we feel bad about this?
Mm-hmm.
What does this look like? But these are dudes that work their asses off, play music, maybe come back from tour either paying out of pocket or maybe with $50
at lucky breaking even.
Right. And God forbid something happens to the van or whatever,
right,
totally. And so to get a couple extra bucks, I mean, they weren't making buku bucks off of it. It was literally paying for a van rental or just the gas. Because these people live in New York. They don't have a car. They're not,
right.
Whatever. They're paying their rent while they're gone. They're thousands of dollars in rent. So, but it was a huge issue. And I remember just really struggling with it. Yeah, but I was just thinking about like all the fucking money, and so I started looking it up recently, and I was just like in like one of those Wikipedia holes, and I was like, holy shit, they booked Converge, they booked Boris, they booked like so many huge bands for these fests.
Yeah.
And the first one was in Atlanta, and they actually flew me out from Cleveland just because I was like banging someone in one of the bands. Sorry, it's a very long-term relationship.
Yeah.
We were very happy. But yeah, like, I mean, as far as Scion's concerned, they don't fucking know.
Right,
It's
yeah,
just, like, and I don't even live in the town. Like, I can't even be, like, the merch person.
Right.
And, like, Colin is so honest. He legit was like, can you fly my girlfriend out? Like,
Right.
it wasn't
he
like,
wouldn't
can
even make
can
up
you
some
fly our
BS title.
guitar
like,
tech
yeah,
out?
she's a photographer for the band.
Yeah, she's like the sensei of McBar, like, you know, or like he's like, I don't know, wardrobe coordinator. That'd be a cool job. Call me Mick. Yeah, it was awesome. It was great. I was like, no second thoughts from me.
Right, yeah.
Oh, you're flying me to a fest that I'm gonna see for free because everyone got in for free. Like, okay,
Yeah,
done. Wormrot played one.
I know.
What?
I think Wormrot might have had one of the records put out by Scion.
Well, Magruder Grind did.
Famously so, yes.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of controversy.
What was your take on it?
No.
No?
Hashtag no.
All right.
Hashtag never. Will never buy. Will never own. Do not want that in my record collection. Will not have a Scion label in my record collection. Will get flown out for free to the fest and stay in a free hotel room. Where I saw a famous black metal musician naked on a balcony of his hotel room, peeing everywhere and yelling absurdly drunk. Stay tuned for the name. We'll
Corpse
have to
paint
see.
on?
No, corpse paint.
Okay.
We'll have to see if anyone can guess in the comments if anyone listens to this.
Nobody's listening.
Yeah. No one's listening.
So
Remember Knock Museum couldn't play that fest because of the Nazi shit?
I don't even know who that is, but when you tell me a black metal band has Nazi stuff, I'm just like, don't know. That's why I don't listen to this stuff.
Yeah, you're right. It is hard to decipher. It's like the porno grind thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Magruder Grind. What is your take?
I feel that there are a finite number of resources in the punk community.
I mean, remembering your speech on record prices, pressing prices, so forth. Mm-hmm.
I feel like taking advantage of a company's dumb policy and poor marketing decisions of picking the brokest fucking people to market cars to. Sure, do it. Whatever. That just meant that some record label could now put out some other band's record.
But would you have a Scion logo on your record and not in like a sarcastic way, right? Like going into the trash can, like the DRI guy or something like
Would
that.
I? No, but that's because nobody's backing fucking loads of money up to my front porch.
Says the guy who drives a Scion.
Yeah.
His second Scion.
Second Scion.
It worked. It worked. Did you get that Scion for free?
I have a vehicle.
Was that an endorsement?
Oh, of course, yes. Because, yeah, they were like, we're going to back this horse.
Mm-hmm.
I have a vehicle that I can fit a large amount of equipment in that gets 30 miles to the gallon.
And 42 shirts. 200 records.
And, yeah.
No, but seriously, would you, like,
Would
if a company came to you and said, like, we'll put out your record, but you have to put our logo on it, like, not in a funny way, like, you can't, like, fucking, like, bash us.
Would I? Probably not. But like I said, I'm not popular, so I don't have to make these types of like moral decisions.
Okay. I don't think I would ever.
How's it any different than like Relapse?
You know, it's because that's on there forever. And if I think about Relapse and I think about like their catalog and life and like things that they've done or like, you know, the ebbs and flows of the they're not terrible. Like, yes.
No, yeah, no. I'm not saying like, oh, they're terrible. Like, I did recently just finally commit to cutting the sleeves off of my SOB long sleeve, and part of that was because one of the sleeves had relapse printed on it a bunch of times.
Burn. Damn.
But why would I want to wear any record label? Like, you know,
just wanted to cut that up and make a lot of patches.
There you go. The only record label shirt that's ever worth wearing is your Slap a Ham t-shirt.
Damn. That's true.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, like a punk run company, like, once your label reaches, like, the status where you're like, we're beyond an LLC, like, how punk could it be at that point?
I don't know. There's still a record label, not a car company. Right?
They're still trying to sell you something.
Records. They're a record label trying to sell you records. I don't know. Like, there's many other companies that have done stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, cell phone companies, even like car insurance companies have heard of like doing weird shit.
Yeah.
Not with like metal and grind, but like, you know, indie shows and
yeah.
You know.
Not picking the smallest, poorest subsection of people to market to.
They didn't know. Someone worked at that company and duped them, and it was awesome. Maybe it was like the founder, the CEO, because I remember my actual first experience with Scion was maybe late 2008 or something.
That sounds right.
2009 was like when the first fest was. So like maybe it was 2008. May have even been 2007. I lived in Cleveland, and I'm walking down a street on the east side, Coventry Road, and there was like this record store nearby, and this guy's on the street, and he goes, "Hey, you want a free record?" And I was like, "What band?" And he's like, "Any free record you want from the store." And I was like, "What?" And it wasn't a great record store. It's like, you know, I ended up getting a hip hop record because I got a free record for test driving a Scion.
So Scion was basically paying buying records from a record store.
Mm-hmm. They gave you a voucher, and you got to go into the record store and get any record you wanted.
Wow.
I got like a $26 like hip hop record. It's one of those stores.
Yeah.
You know, where I was like, oh my God, $20 records.
Yeah.
$25. I got like the most expensive record I could find of like some hip hop that I knew.
Yeah.
And it was great. But yeah, they paid roughly $20 to $30 essentially for each person to test drive a car.
For not expensive cars.
No.
They're like new. They were like $16,000.
Yeah, it was weird. First experience. So I think like in the beginning they've always had this idea this market has never been tapped. We're gonna tap with cars for car companies, or this is it. Yeah. And they you know, these are the bloggers of the world. I guess it's message board people at this point.
Yeah, at that point in time, blogs were starting to be a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I don't know. I just wouldn't want that logo on my record permanently. Like all the records I put out.
Yeah.
All the
when Scion gets its shit back together, restarts, and wants to reissue the Domestic Grind CDR.
Yes.
You'll say no. You'll say no.
Oh my God! I put out a CD. I made fun of it with the opening track, but I did. I even put it in a floppy disk case. Did you get one of those?
I didn't get one in a floppy disk case.
Yeah, I have all these like old 3x5 floppy disks. No, not the 3x5s, the bigger ones,
the
like
5
5
1/4.
Yeah, and if you slice the top or bottom with
you make a sleeve out of it.
You can make a sleeve, and then you can fit a CD inside because I refused to believe that I had a CD. So working on a tape. It'll probably come out. It's like the 15-year anniversary. We're gonna do a press of
reunion
of 12
reunion tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get both sides of the argument. I feel like a bunch of people walked away with a bunch of free shit, dupe some company. Whatever, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I guess now that the company's dead, it's fucking funny.
I mean, it was always funny.
Was it?
I don't know. That's what I
It
mean.
felt
Like,
skeezy. Like, I didn't even experience this firsthand. I guess I did because I flew on their
Yeah,
dime,
you-
which I loved, and slept in a fancy ass hotel room.